Welcome back, partiers, to the show. It has been a hot minute. This is Party Pastime, where my good buddy Patrick and I like to talk about all of the entertainment news and reviews of the week. And Patrick, welcome back to the party.
Hi, it's good to be back. It's been a long few weeks.
It's been quite a month. We all live, both Patrick and I live in Florida. We had to deal with some storms and whatnot, so I'm sure you kind of fill in the blanks.
Yeah, hurricane season being what it is. It's a very busy, active hurricane season.
Probably like one of the worst ones we've had in
a while.
In a long time, yes. So,
as far as I can remember, so.
It's been a lot of cleanup, a lot of getting back to work. I say that as if like I just got back to work, but it hasn't been not even like a whole week, but
yeah,
it's been crazy times off air. It's the holiday season, so work for me has been insane. I know it's been insane for Pat as well.
Yeah, it's been rough out here. but that's okay. We're winding down now, slowly.
We're winding down, and the weather here in Florida is actually not bad for once. The weather,
it's habitable. It's habitable.
Yeah, the weather today, the weather the last couple of days have actually been all right, and today was probably like the coolest we've had in a long time, especially this early in the season.
This cold front does a body good.
Oh, it does. It feels so good, Pat.
I think it's supposed to keep getting colder through the weekend. I think Saturday morning is going to be the coldest it gets.
Ooh.
Like mid-40s.
Oh, yeah.
I'm here for it. It's the end of November, and we finally have, fall-ish weather.
Yeah. I'm going to enjoy this while it lasts, because I know this is not going to last for a while.
Yeah. I'm hoping, like December through February are, like, decently cold some of the time, but I'm not, like, I'm not breaking my fingers from crossing them so hard, right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm keeping my expectations realistic here.
Pat, how during the month we've been off air, how have you been doing?
I've just been busy.
Oh yeah.
That's about it, really.
Right.
I've just been really busy, stressing from, like potential hurricanes, steady workflow. I've been addicted to Pokemon TCG Pocket. That's about it, really.
Yeah, that what was it? TGC, you said? TGC Pocket?
Yeah.
What?
TCG Pocket, yeah.
Yeah, so what's that about? Because I haven't played any of that, and I've seen it like just... So I've seen it just everywhere. What's the hype of this game?
It came out of beta a few weeks ago for the United States, so like everybody's able to like download it and play it. At its core, are you familiar with like gacha games? Sort of like how they work?
Yes.
So it is essentially a gacha game, but it's a simplified version of the real life Pokemon trading card game. So the cards are simpler and the game rules are a little bit simpler so that it's just like faster in general. Like the games are shorter, it's easier to pick up and play, and the emphasis is more on opening packs and getting cool cards.
Okay.
Rather than the like competitive experience against other players. I mean, obviously, like playing against other players is a good part of it, but it's
right.
I mean, a lot of effort has been put into the pack opening and card collecting experience. The presentation is like immaculate. all the cards are rendered in really high quality artwork. You can zoom in on all of your cards, and you can tap and press and hold on them to like tilt them around, just like you could tilt a real card around in real life. And they have like stereoscopic 3D effects, and some of them have really elaborate animations where you dive into the card art and they tell a story. And you can literally like flip through packs on a carousel and turn them around and look for imperfections in the wrapping. And if you open a pack backwards, you literally get the cards in reverse order. It's a very cool experience. At least so far, it's been doing all the single player stuff and doing like dailies and stuff. It's actually been decently generous. I haven't obviously, like any gacha game is like meant to get your money, but
Right.
at least so far I've had a very steady stream of packs and high quality pulls without needing to spend any money, and I haven't felt compelled to spend money yet. So we'll see how that shakes out.
Okay, that sounds very
But
interesting. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I mean, if you download it, definitely tell me what you think, because I think it's really cool as a huge Pokemon fan.
Pat, we have quite the show today. How to Train Your Dragon has released a trailer. We're going to talk about Agatha All Along and the Penguin series, the stuff that we've actually talked about before we got off air.
Yeah.
But first, I want to kind of get into a little off-the-top segment, just for a real quick, because the new part for Season 6 for Cobra Kai came out. And, Pat, I know you said you haven't seen Cobra Kai. I'm assuming you still haven't.
No.
No. Okay.
Not in the slightest.
Man, there's so much to talk about for these new 6 episodes that they released, because shit gets dark this time.
Mm-hmm.
And something I was telling a friend at work was when they first started this show, you can tell they were playing it safe. This is taken in the Karate Kid universe, so it's about the nerds having to learn to defend themselves against bullies. When the first season came out, the bullies were handled very cliched, like, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So not much of like what really teens get into, but as the series progressed, they did get into like what does happen with like high school teens. And this time around, they did not hold back. Most of them are seniors in high school now, going into college. So there's going to be teenage drinking involved. There's going to be hookups involved. But it's not done in the sense of like what... It wasn't overused like what a lot of other shows have done. But like what comes to mind first for me is like Degrassi. It never gets like that intense when it comes to those subjects, but with like dealing with the bullies, dealing with the enemies, especially with a lot of old returning characters.
Mm-hmm.
There's a running theme of war, and it really shows with where they're taking the tournament this time around. It was done so well. A guy I follow named Sean Chandler, he didn't really like part 1 as much, which I agree. It was very slow, not much really happening. And he had the same issues with part 2, which I wholeheartedly have to disagree, because things are finally getting real. There's been a lot of talk about like... I guess I'm kind of getting into semi-spoilers. So there's been a lot of talk like who is going to die like every season. And I'm like, well, these are high school kids. No way that can happen. They're really, keeping these characters safe. Oh, boy. No. No.
I mean, you are piquing my interest, so.
Well, Pat, man.
A little, just a little bit. I promise I'll get around to it eventually. I've been saying that for the past however many years Cobra Kai has been out, but
yeah, I'm honestly surprised you still haven't gotten into it, Pat. But oh boy, this part 2 for season 6 has to be. I think it's my second favorite. I think season 2 and season 3 are still tied for my my most favorite seasons, and they're tied because they do, like I said, those 2 seasons, they really keep the legacy characters are really great, but then the new characters are great as well. Like, in season 3, they bring back Allie from the original Karate Kid.
Oh,
and
interesting.
and how it's handled, though, is handled with so much respect of the legacy characters, and she's not even in it for the whole season, and it's done just so well. I love how they've been treating the legacy characters so far, and like seeing how they've treated the legacy characters is making me much more excited for the new Karate Kid movie coming out next year with Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan. I know Jackie Chan was from the Jaden Smith movie, which isn't really the most favorable of all the Karate Kid movies. But if they keep the same team that's been doing Cobra Kai, I haven't really looked into like who's the crew for the new movie coming up. But it's all is taking place in the same universe. I do have some hope for this new Karate Kid movie coming out, especially with how they ended this part 2. I don't know how they can continue with part 3.
Is this meant to be like the last season?
This is meant to be the last season, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this is meant to be the last season before the movie comes out. The part 3 is supposed to come out in January, I believe, or
Gotcha.
February. It's coming like in early 2025, and then that summer we get the movie. But yeah, but Pat, I was hoping I would get your interest this time, and I'm glad I did, because they, oh man, it stays like this, Pat, where I wish you were caught up with Cobra Kai, because there's so much to talk about for this, just these next 6 episodes alone that they released.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully you'll start watching it and you'll be caught up before part 3, so we can have some stuff to talk about. But
yeah, one day we'll mark that off as a throw that in the old calendar.
Pat, let's go ahead and jump into our movie talk segment real quick. That's all I can say. Just, Universal Studios has released the trailer for the live-action How to Train Your Dragon movie, and Pat, there are fans. Like, if you go to the comments, you see fans are actually looking forward to this.
Sure.
Toothless does look great. The characters do look good. You have Gerard Butler coming back to play Stoic.
Yeah,
that's cool, I guess. But this is a legit shot-for-shot remake of the animated movie that we got, like, just a little over 10 years ago.
Is it really?
Why?
I guess it has been that long. Yeah.
But why do we need it? Is my question.
No, yeah.
Why do we need it?
100%. This is why does this exist? Like, that's exactly how I feel. Totally.
It just doesn't make any sense, Pat.
I don't know. This type of shit just feels like deeply unnecessary to me. It's like, what if we made the same movie but uglier?
Oh, Disney! I hope you're taking notes. Oh, wait a minute.
Like, this is all this is. That's literally all this is. It's just the same movie, but ugly.
Like, this honestly seems something like Disney would do. Like, now with all the live action stuff that they're doing, I would have never expected it. When I first heard about live action How to Train Your Dragon, it did catch my interest, saying that they were going to be more quote unquote a little more faithful to the books.
Yeah.
Um, but someone like me, I've never read the books. But I do know some stuff. Um, what's the guy's name? The one of the characters' name. Jonah Hill plays him in the Dragon movies. Snotloud, I think his name is.
Mm.
In the books, they're him and Hiccup are cousins, but they don't really. They're more like frenemies in the movies.
Yeah.
But now they're going to be cousins in this new movie. So, but as far as like being more faithful to the books, that's all I'm really hearing right now. It's just going to be more about the characters and following like what the actual story was in the books. So,
Sure.
but again, that still I think validates the whole. Why do we need this? If they're gonna do a shot for shot, they're saying that they're gonna be more faithful to the book, but they're gonna do a shot for shot remake of the animated movie.
Then how?
What's the source material here again? I'm so confused.
Did they just mean aesthetically? I don't quite understand what they're getting at here. Yeah, man, I don't know. I like Toothless looks pretty good,
Mm-hmm.
but I really can't say I'm like interested in
Yeah.
this at all,
No.
really.
I also
Um,
think the live action Stoic looks good too. I mean, they brought back Gerard Butler.
yeah.
That's I mean, that's cool as well, but as we've seen from other live action adaptations, most notably Lion King, sure, you bring back a legacy actor from the original movie, it's still not it, it it's not even going to make or break the movie. It's just not going to do anything different.
Yeah, it just like it doesn't necessarily translate
Yeah.
that well either. So I mean,
But
yeah, I don't
yeah.
know, man. It's just this is like the most like consume product movie I've ever it's just
Mhm.
so like wholly unnecessary. And yeah, like the animated version still exists and it's still right there.
Yeah.
Oh hey, I got a updated tracking email for my PlayStation just now.
Yo.
That's so funny.
But Pat, I think the one thing that I mean, this isn't like the thing that really gets me, but it's just one of the things that still gets to me about this uh, remake is that I don't know if you know this, Pat, but the Dragons franchise is it's still going. There's a show on Peacock right now. It is more centered towards the younger demographic, but it does take place in the lore of the animated movies where it follows like the great grand it's a show that takes place in modern day, and it's like one of Hiccup's like great grandchildren or something like that. Um,
Yeah.
um, a YouTuber I watch, her name is Audrey. She actually goes into she. I haven't seen the show, but she's watched it and has done like an in-depth analysis review of like every episode. Props to her, but from what she talks about, it's not really good. So I really never bothered watching it, but I think it's safe to say that, despite what people may think about about this new show, this is a franchise that is still going, and Universal really wants to hop on the bandwagon of what Disney is doing with their animated movies. It's just
Sure.
another reason it doesn't make sense to me, you know.
We should just not do that. I mean, this is the problem with live action Lion King making $1 billion, right?
Oh my
Or
god.
close to $1 billion. Like I just like, you know,
Oh yes, I
it's
know.
just like, I guess it's like it's enough of a spectacle that people want to go see it, and but it's just like, I don't know. I've talked about live action Lion King before
But I
on
think we talk
this,
about
and
it. I think we talk about live action like it way too much on the show.
And listen, it's not even, that wasn't even the first live action Disney remake. I get it. However, Jungle Book was good. like actually really good. And Pete's Dragon wasn't even bad. So
oh yeah, no, dude, I will still stand that Pete's Dragon is one of Disney's underrated and overlooked live action remakes.
Like, I think Pete's Dragon is fine. You know, it's like a 7 out of 10. Like,
and I think what's great about Jungle Book, Pack, since you brought it up, is that there's many variations of it. You can do so many different things with that. There's like, you can tell like new stories with the same characters and still come out with a really good movie, as we saw with Disney's live action remake.
Yes. But,
and that's something that you just can't do with, I mean, I guess it is something that you can do with dragons, I guess. But with what we saw, just literally being the animated movie just in live action, there's nothing to validate that reasoning.
Hey, man. It is what it is. Like, we can't stop it. The capitalism continues always.
Pat, let's go ahead and talk about some good stuff.
Yeah.
This is our Marvel madness, everybody. And before Pat and I took our break from the show to deal with all the storms in life and everything, we last talked about the first 2 episodes of Agatha All Along. And Pat, I finished it. I'm assuming you have finished it.
I did finish this, yes.
Pat, there were so many twists and turns in the show. It reminded, of course, it reminded me a lot of WandaVision, considering that it was the same showrunner too. But it was just a nice form for Marvel to do something different. Since WandaVision, since they've been on this like really weird roller coaster. But Pat, Agatha, it's up there. It is up there. It's one of their best shows.
I don't really want to delve too much into spoilers on this because I feel like people should really just like watch this for themselves. But yes, I was genuinely surprised by this. I thought that this would go the way of most Marvel shows and kind of just be okay.
Right.
But I really liked this, and I think it really stuck the landing.
Oh yeah.
I think the finale especially was actually great. No notes. I think overall I'd give the whole show probably like an 8.
So Pat, last time we talked about Agatha, I did bring up about Agatha may be on the verge of being another good sympathetic villain, and you kind of said, you're kind of tired of the mainstream media doing that, of having villains that we want to care about. Just give us a villain that we like despise. After watching Agatha, what do you think of that stance now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad, I'm glad they didn't do that. You know what I mean? I'm glad we just got fucking bad people.
Yeah. It was very different because there were, even with everything that happened, there were still points I still felt a little bad about Agatha, especially that episode of, I know you said I didn't want to get into spoilers, but
we could, a little bit.
Yeah.
There,
but there have been hints about like what happened to her child. Some theories on like where her child is. And when that episode came around, there were still like moments I'm like, Agatha is still a good villain, but there are still some points that I feel bad for her. I think it's more like Thanos. Like Thanos would have, like he did, nothing stood in his way to do what he wanted to do. And when he killed Gamora, and you saw like the distraught on his face, it's like, wow, this is. I would have never thought I would have felt that way for
Sure.
a vile villain like Thanos. And I think the same stance can be said for Agatha. Like what
Yeah.
she does is, especially in that episode, like what she does is just really gruesome stuff.
Yeah.
And I still feel bad for her. But in other cases, I'm like, nah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
They didn't take it as far this time. You know, like it's like I said with in the first two episodes, like the sympathetic villain redemption arc type stuff is played out. Just give me more villains like Dementis from Furiosa. Like just give me a fun villain to watch that I want to see lose because he has no justifiable motivation besides wanting to be a dickhead.
Right.
Also, Aubrey Plaza as Death.
Oh.
Top tier. Very good.
Oh man.
Very good.
What's great about this, Pat, it's stuff like that. Cause I know some stuff about the character of Death. She has a relationship with Thanos and Deadpool and stuff like that where I wish Thanos was still around.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, they just really completely did away with that. Yeah. And honestly, kind of for the better.
yeah. Like because
I think MCU Thanos' motivation is much more believable.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but just not having to be like too complicated of really just them two having a relationship, it really simplified a lot for not just the show but for the whole MCU too. Like if they still kept Thanos or brought in Death earlier, stuff would have been a little complicated and a little distracting. Yeah. So it really simplified a lot.
Agree.
My favorite episode, Pat. It's the Wizard of Oz type.
Yeah, that's a great one.
That one is that one is my favorite. I don't remember the witch, the one of the witches' names. The one that can kind of teleport in and out of time.
Yes.
Just everything with her character in that episode. All the camera work alone, I think, is what did it for me. There were so many interesting things that they did in that episode, and just how everything just comes together. I was watching this show with Rennie, and I was like, babe, this is like one of the few characters in the show that I think had a happy ending. Then she told me, no, Tommy, it's a happy beginning for her. And I was like, oh, don't do that to me.
Yeah.
It was, that episode was so beautifully done.
Yeah, it's great.
What's gonna be your favorite episode of this show?
Oh man, probably like episode 5 or 6.
5 or 6, okay.
One of the two, I think. It's like I haven't watched it in a little bit, so I'm like trying to recall like specifics. But I do remember 5 and 6 like standing out to me, and obviously the finale.
Yeah,
I think MCU shows haven't historically been great with finales, but I really thought that this one sort of broke the cycle in a lot of ways. And I mean, I don't know if we'll get more from this, these characters, either in like, whether they're like TV show exclusive, or if they'll be a part of like the greater like MCU movie type projects. But
I honestly wouldn't mind. I honestly wouldn't mind if they just stayed in in the Disney Plus stuff.
Me neither. I don't have a preference either way. But I would like to see, more of them.
Yeah. I think it's best that they do, because
this was just a lot of fun.
It really was, and I think it's best if it does stay in the Disney Plus content, because I know when the last Doctor Strange movie came out, a lot of fans that really didn't catch up with like the Disney Plus shows were not really getting what was happening, so, which I get. It wasn't like the Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness was like it was a movie that was supposed to kind of change everything. Now that we're kind of getting into the multiversal stuff, but at the same time, there were still those fans that were like, okay, I have to watch WandaVision before that. I just want to watch the movies, man.
Yeah.
But with how things ended, and I hope we do get a season 2. I really want to see a continuation of Agatha and Teen. Yeah, just keep these characters, at least these characters in the Disney Plus show. Let them do their own adventure and leave all like the big stuff in like the movies, you know.
Yeah.
So I was looking up the episodes, Pat. Episode 5 and 6, those were the ones centered around Teen. So I have a really funny story to tell you. The ending
Lay it on me.
The ending of episode 5, they play the song "You Should See Me in a Crown."
Yes.
So this was still during around the Halloween season. That song, I hate that song so much.
Really?
I'll tell you, it'll make sense. Because that song is in our new show for Hallowscream at Busch Gardens.
Oh.
So I had to hear that every single fucking day.
Yeah.
So when I heard that, I lost my shit, and then I texted my friends at Busch. None of them have watched the show. Only one of them had. So me and him went like on and on about it, and he was like, the one guy's one of my stage managers, and he was like, yeah, I actually texted our supervisor, and I was like, dude, did you watch that episode?
That's funny.
I went nuts.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it's a great song. I like it. Just having to hear it every day, you get the idea.
No, I totally get it. When I was still working at Publix all the time, there were songs that I heard every single day, or sometimes multiple times a day, and I'm just like, oh my god, if I have to hear, I don't know, Breakfast at Tiffany's, like if I ever have to hear that song again, I'm gonna fucking like build myself.
Shout out to all of my tech friends and the contractors that put all their hard work into the new show, The Reckoning at Busch Gardens. Really good pyrotechnics that we had in the show.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I wish I could have gone, but I just couldn't find the time.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I wish I had the time to go to HHN this year. I just couldn't.
Yeah. One of those years.
Oh yeah, but hopefully next Halloween.
Yeah, next year for sure.
Pat, let's get into our DC talk. Let me play.
And for what purpose is this crime-fighting device? Evil beware, we have waffles.
Evil beware, we have waffles. This is our DC talk, everybody, and Patrick. I'm just gonna say it. This is something I've actually been wanting to tell you, specifically, Pat. The Penguin is I believe one of the best shows we've had since Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely, at the very least, this is my favorite show that's come out this year. But it's probably, I mean, Better Call Saul notwithstanding, it's probably like my favorite show of the past like 5 years. I think this is genuinely, I'm sad that this is a limited series, because like I'm sad it's like actually like done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because this is some fucking top shelf TV drama right here, my boy. This is everything that I want out of this like Batman universe, like the Reeves verse. Like, nah, dude, let him cook. Give me all of this.
Pat,
this is
Pat, the show's been done for a few weeks now. I still can't stop thinking about it. I still can't stop thinking about that finale.
This is some serious gourmet shit, brother. This is like the prime rib of streaming series right now. And you know, talk about it during Agatha All Along, how I want villains that are just like irredeemable pieces of shit. I got
Oh
one.
my god, dude.
I got one.
Woo!
There's no, it's not played for laughs. It's not sympathetic. It's not woe was me. It's not, these are my understandable motives. Penguin, like Colin Farrell's Penguin, is just a huge fucking piece of shit who I hate, and I'm in for it,
Oh
dude.
man, dude,
I'm so committed.
we
Like,
were eating good during this show.
holy shit, bro. This
I-
show's awesome.
As I said in our last episode, like from the first two episodes, we were gonna see that Oz was gonna have all these close calls, and I'm so glad that they did that reveal of Oz killing Sophia's brother pretty early on in the series, because there was just so much shit that went down after that reveal. This was the best use of dramatic irony I've ever seen, I think, in any just media in a long ass time. And just building up to what we would get in the finale. Oh my god, the fire scene.
Yeah,
that
I know, right?
That gave me goosebumps.
Right? What is it with Matt Reeves and doing good fire scenes in his Batman stuff, right? Because between that and the scene, with like the Batmobile chase, and it's so
my god,
it's peak, brother. What can I say? It's amazing, genuinely, like dark, gritty, gripping television. And it's a perfect segue for the next Batman movie, because despite it all, he comes out on top. Like, he gets away with it, he is that guy, and like, I hate him for it.
Oh yeah,
I love it. I love it.
Oh my god, Pat. I know the last time we talked about how much of a great actress that what's her last name? It's Christy Melody. How great of an actress?
I think that's how you say it.
Yeah, but how much of a great actress Christy Melody is. Can we talk about the guy that plays Victor? Victor is one of the best characters in this show as well, but that episode where he just decides to not go with his girl and stay with Penguin, rescues Oz, and then what happens in the finale?
I know, man.
There's been a lot of talks of like, if Vic is somehow manages to come back somewhere in the Matt Reeves verse, I'm sure you've seen it, Pat, where he might come back as Robin or whatever. I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
Here's what I see, Pat. If Vic somehow comes back, which if he stays dead, that's fine too, because it still validates Oz being one of the worst guys to ever be with.
Yeah.
But if he does, I want him to keep his memory, and I want that to be a whole fucking revenge arc for him.
Yeah.
I want nothing to be held back for Vic if they find a way for him to come back. But I doubt it, though. Keep him dead, because I still want to hate Penguin. And speaking of hating Penguin, that's what this whole show was just about. Like, sure, there were moments that you were wanting to root for him, but in the end, and you've actually been wanting to root for actually nobody. I guess you can put it that way.
I mean, everybody in this show sucks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Sophia's my favorite character in the show, but even I am willing to recognize, like, everybody in this show sucks.
Oh my god.
I mean, like, I feel the most bad for Vic, of course.
Yeah.
Vic is obviously in over his head.
Yeah, and I
He
didn't.
doesn't truly understand. what's
Yeah,
happening.
and I really didn't notice this until I saw it on a post somewhere. But how symbolically his character stands too at the end when
Yeah.
Oz throws his driver's license in the river, and then
Yeah.
with his parents drowning that we see earlier in the show, it's like, oh, I didn't notice that at first, but when I saw the post, I was like, oh, wait a minute, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
It really got to me at that point when I made the connection.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this this finale is whew,
I think the icing on the cake though, Pat,
it's a fucking doozy.
the bat signal.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
You finally get the fucking bat signal at the end, of course.
For fans that have actually been wanting Batman to be in the show, well, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. That's all you get though.
That's all you get, but honestly, like
that's all it needed, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all you needed. This show did not need Batman.
No.
I genuinely, obviously it would have been cool to see him, but I don't think this show would have been improved by the presence of Batman.
Yeah.
And I think it's unrealistic, especially since, this version of Batman literally just established that it's the fear of the fact that he could be anywhere that makes him appear larger than life. It's not that he literally can be anywhere. So yeah, of course he wouldn't know what's going, like, he can't be everywhere. He wouldn't know all the goings on that's happening right now. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense that he's not here. And
man,
this show fucking rocked.
I'm so ready I'm so ready for this to continue in the Batman Part 2. I am so ready for, like, I know we kind of got Joker, but I honestly wouldn't mind if Penguin is like the main villain that Batman has to deal with in his next 2 movies coming out. And I'm so ready for them to throw down. I am so ready for them to throw down.
For sure.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Between this show and the new season of Arcane and
I still gotta watch that.
what is it? The Dune show just started. I haven't watched that yet, but first episode of that out. We're getting some good stuff on streaming, man. So I mean, hell yeah.
Pat, do you have just looking ahead? Do you have any like fan theories that you have with what might happen with like Batman Part 2, or if they decide to do like a new season of Penguin? I know you said this was a limited run, but God, I would love a second season.
I mean, I would love more of this, but they did. They announced it as a limited series. It's just the 8 episodes. And I think it ends at like the perfect point. Like this, everything sort of came to a head. Oz is on top. Sophia's back in Arkham. We get the hint of Selena Kyle, at the end there.
Yes.
She's got she gives her the letter. Or rather, Rush gives her the letter. And then we got the fucking bat signal. So, as for like fan theories of what's going to happen, obviously I think Penguin will be involved in the next movie to some capacity. Maybe not as like a major player. I know Colin Farrell really fucking hates putting on that suit. He really does not like doing the makeup.
He hates the suit, and he actually he hates the accent he has to do for Penguin too.
Yeah, I mean, who could blame him? He is unrecognizable underneath all that makeup.
Oh my god.
So, I mean, and just like, I don't know, man, just the face that he makes after he's done like choking Vic out, like, that is some foul shit. Give me more. Like, I don't know. I love this show, like beginning to end.
Yeah. I,
Complete.
with what we talked
Fantastic
about
series.
with Agatha, kind of keeping like the streaming content separately and the movies separately.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it'll work out to kind of bring that streaming content into the next movie? Because, like you said, there is stuff that we have to look at. Penguin is going to be in a different place this time. Sophia is going to be an established character that we would have gotten in the show, and then Selena Kyle comes in the picture. They're half related. Do you think that any like that's already just a ton of plot with to catch up with in the show? If they bring that in like Batman Part 2 or Batman Part 3, do you think that's something that can work on its own so people can still go to the movies and still enjoy it even if they haven't seen Penguin?
Yeah, I'm almost wondering how much of this will actually bleed into Batman Part 2, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I almost feel like this can sort of like stand alone.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like less required viewing and more like, it's there if you want it.
Right.
I don't know. I really don't know.
If they decide to keep Penguin a limited series, I can honestly see them do like maybe other shows too. Maybe with Selena Kyle coming back into the picture, maybe we can get like a Catwoman show with Sophia there, maybe Penguin here or there.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe we could just get an entire Arkham show. That would be kind of different.
That'd be cool.
There's a lot of stuff that they can do in this universe. Hell, I mean, do a Batman show. Yeah, I know we got the moves, but you can also do a Batman show.
Yeah, you could. I don't know that they really need to though. I think he kind of wants to keep him as like a really big,
Yeah.
larger than life big screen character.
But yeah, I think there's just a lot that they can do, like with a lot of the limited series. If they do that, I hope they don't saturate as much as like what Marvel has been doing. Which, if Matt Reeves is going to be involved, I don't really see that happening. Sure. Just because of what we've gotten with the Batman and then the Penguin series. This is something that I can't see be ruined. It's something that I can't really see be saturated because this is some grounded shit we've seen. I think some of the most grounded shit we've seen in a Batman media since the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah.
But debatably, you could say that the Dark Knight trilogy kind of it had its moments near the end, but it's still an enjoyable trilogy, though.
Yeah, I mean, especially the first two.
Oh,
for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, nobody ever shuts the hell up about the Dark Knight, and for good reason. So, yeah, I just really, really want that next movie, man.
Oh my god, we should be getting it in.
Right, I mean, probably sometime next year.
2025? Yeah, 2025 it has to be, right?
Maybe. I don't know, let me see.
I hope it's 2025 because, man.
2026.
Oof.
October 2nd, too.
Oh my god.
It's like that's the planned release date, so it's like actually 2 years away.
Oh my goodness.
Woof.
Ugh.
That hurts.
Who knows? Maybe we might get a teaser trailer near the end of next year.
Yeah, I know. Maybe. That's a long wait, man.
That really is. I really thought we were gonna get it next year.
Damn, that's like fully 2 years away, dude. Holy shit.
Jesus.
Ouch.
Jesus.
Well,
I'm just gonna rewatch Penguin again while I wait. I'm gonna rewatch
Yeah.
it. I'm gonna just rewatch it again every month.
yeah, I'll just rewatch the Batman Part 2 for like, I don't know, every month for the next 2 years. maybe.
Well, Pat, I think that will do it for this week's episode of our little party show thing. Pat, I'm excited to see where this Matt Reeves Batman universe is gonna go. I'm just excited to see where this is gonna go, especially after Penguin.
Yeah, of course.
Those are my closing thoughts.
Yeah, my closing thoughts are watch Penguin, please. That's
it.
That's it.
I know I normally will have something to tease for the next show, but I really have nothing. This is just an episode that Pat and I wanted to do to talk about Agatha and Penguin, so
Yeah.
I really don't have anything, but we'll be back again soon, everybody. And
Yeah, we'll figure out something.
well, I guess
Thanksgiving week's coming up,
I'll say this. Pat's gonna get his PS5 Pro. We'll talk about that for the next show.
And
There it is.
that'll be it.
Where can they
That'll
find
be it.
you? Where can they find you on social media, Pat?
You can find me on Instagram at PattyWiseTheClown, and that's it.
You can find me at Tommy.Zami on Instagram as well. And thank you all for tuning in, and welcome back to the party, everybody. We will see you all again very soon. But until then, party on, partiers.
Nice.
Watch Penguin, bitch.
Watch Penguin.